Hello, reacting video. Today we're going to take a look at a Pokemon that I haven't seen at all being showcased in the last, I don't know, year or something. We see the Mewtwo here with the Armored form. If you didn't know, if you like just started playing Pokemon Go or whatever, this Pokemon was available as a promotion for the movie for Armored Mewtwo, which has been like 2 years or something. I think it came back once with the special move Side Strike, which you also have on here, but I had to use an Elite TM because I didn't really rate them back in the day. This must have been like ages ago since this Pokemon came out. Compared to a normal Mewtwo, this Pokemon has completely different stats. It's way bulkier than normal Mewtwo, so it's pretty decent in the Ultra League. I wish I would be able to use it in the Great League, to be fair, because it would be just hilarious. And here you are using the move Confusion as a fast move, which is pretty damn decent, because Confusion will be able to destroy something like a Nidoqueen or those poison types in the current meta. And there are a ton of poison types in the current meta, which is the main reason why I wanted to try this Pokemon out. I had some issues in the beginning trying to play it, but after like 1-2 sets or whatever, it went so well. I didn't expect it whatsoever. Like, it went so well with this team as well. Like, the team itself does make a ton of sense as well, which I really enjoy about this team, as we even get the boost here, which is going to make my opponent quit. But I think my last game with this team was a 5-0, which is, yeah, it's kind of wild. I even had to cut off some games here, both wins and losses, because just I played this team for I think 4 sets, and there would have been like a 1-hour gameplay video there, so I had to cut out like half of it basically. But I had some great time with this team, which is kind of funny. Idea behind this team. We have a lead here that's going to be able to destroy ghost types. You need something that destroys ghost types, but you also need something that destroys the dark types as well, which both of them you will be able to destroy with the Obstagoon. Thing here is 2 issues. One issue, Obstagoon itself, because we don't really have the best answers in the bag. And the other issue is Scrafty, which completely destroys your own Obstagoon and also the Pokemon in the bag. Scrafty is not that rare. We are going to most likely see some gameplay against Scrafty as well. But we have the coverage on our Pokemon itself with like Cross Chop in the lead, but also with Dynamic Punch on Mewtwo. Yep, the Armored Mewtwo is learning Dynamic Punch. It learns completely different moves, of course. It also learns Rock Slide, which I actually thought of going for Rock Slide, Dynamic Punch, and Confusion instead of Side Strike, but Side Strike is just too good as a neutral move. And we also going to, otherwise it would be also able to learn Earthquake, which is also kind of nice, but Dynamic Punch seems to be the best bet together with the Side Strike here. We will be able to Side Strike the Lapras of the opponent. I don't think this next move does KO me yet, right? No, it does not, but they swap out into the Talonflame. Very great swap by my opponent. This is going to be a difficult one. Do we still get to move with our Mewtwo to knock them out? Let's see. We would be able to even go for the Dynamic Punch, but the Side Strike comes through, and we will be able to knock them out. I think that was actually the opponent's team from Ineloquence, which he showcased before on his channel, so that's kind of funny that you beat them with that. We will see the Drifblim against us. Pretty decent lead, but actually Drifblim will be able to win this if I don't use my shields, which is kind of crazy because we have a ghost type that does mainly ghost damage against a dark and normal type, but the matchup itself is not as nice for me sadly, especially as I shield the first one. But we will be able to do some nice damage against it, get a shield advantage, and the thing is with this team, you have to get used to it a little bit. You have to get used to how to play this team. You kind of always want to get something to farm down with your Mewtwo, because you have a move that is very good for farming down stuff. Stab Confusion is really nice in this meta currently, but also you need some kind of pressure with your charge moves, which Dynamic Punch and Side Strike is very good for pressuring, but you have to get there first. So if you have something to farm down, like this Drifblim now, for example, you will be in a pretty decent spot. Let's see what they're going into. They're going to go into their Drapion. I can let one move go through. Again, we are way bulkier than a normal Mewtwo here, but we also do less damage, of course, than a normal Mewtwo because of this reason, and we will be able to do some nice damage here already. We're going to go ahead and shield this next move up, and we're going to get them pretty low. They're going to go for an Awkward Tail. They're actually swapping into a Deoxys, which is not ideal for me. Let's see what I can do here about this. We can go into our own Cresselia, and we can go ahead and go for some Moonblast. We have a pretty bulky team here in the back anyway. We have Cresselia together with the Cresselia is our safe up here in general. The thing is, I don't see as many Registeel anymore. I think I saw some though still. I don't know if it's in there because I had to cut out a ton of gameplay. But I usually am really fine with Cresselia as a safe swap. The main thing that I really want to do here is get out potential ghost types, and the most common ghost type currently is Giratina. And Giratina is something that you can still pressure with your charge move of Moonblast. So like basically you're going to be able to get, I think, always a shield from the opponent's Giratina. You will be able to align your Obstagoon against it and then have a shield advantage against whatever they have in the back. And as you might saw already here, the time is running down. As you can see on top, we will be able to win this game just by the timer alone, which is kind of showing how bulky our team is, but also the Drifblim in the lead just kind of took its time. We see a Swampert coming in. This is very decent for my team. Swampert is neutral against basically every Pokemon I have here, but against Cresselia we have the Grass Knot, which will do a ton of damage against them. I don't have to shield anything here. They're going to go for an Earthquake. Fine for me. I can go for another move. That's going to be a Hydro Cannon. They can let this move go through. They can go for 2 shields down. I always will be able to win this matchup. There's nothing that they can do about this. They're going to shield up. Fine for me. They can go for another move here now. I will be able to shield up as well. And as long as they don't swap out here, which they try to do, we would be fine. But of course, we kept our move and we're going to be able to go for some cross chops now against the opponent. As we're going to keep our shield, I think, for my Mewtwo in the back, because I think Mewtwo in the back should still have a great time with the shield advantage. I will be able to take any move here anyway. I think it's going to be an Earthquake, which is kind of rare recently because people are more running Psychic, Fangs, and Crunch, I think, but Earthquake still does a ton of damage. We will see the Ninetales coming in, which is fine for me because we have our Mewtwo, which is a very neutral against this Pokemon, and we will be able to go now to our Mewtwo. We will be able to go for our Side Strike, but I actually think I made a mistake here. No, I actually went for Side Strike, never mind. This Side Strike going to do a ton of damage here. Gonna put them into range where I can just farm them down. They're gonna go into their Swampert, and I will be able to just snipe them with my Cresselia going for a Grass Knot, as I will be able to farm them all the way down, as I can just shield up the opponent's Dazzling Beam. Actually here was the only way of winning this, and Mewtwo will be able to win this game. Next opponent, we will see... also you're going to see my Elo climb with this team as well, which is kind of nice. We will see here the Talonflame coming in against us. We don't have the Psychic type move, which is kind of sad, so we're going to rely on our Moonblast. We will be able to do some damage with this at least, and we will be able to now no-shield the opponent's move, going to be the Flame Charge. Fine for me. I'm going to go for 2 more fast moves, go for one Moonblast here again. This will actually get the drop here for the attack against them, which will allow me to survive another charge move here. Usually Brave Bird would have KO'd me here. Here it doesn't, which allows me to go for my own Moonblast, which is gonna get a shield from the opponent again, which is amazing. This is something that usually shouldn't happen, and I should be able to just farm them all the way down at this point of time, as long as they don't want to swap out, but they swap into their Cobalion. I could have stayed in, maybe get some damage on them, but I also can just go into my Mewtwo, go for one more fast move now, go for the Dynamic Punch. This should hopefully knock out already the opponent, and it doesn't yet, but we will be able to get more farm here, which is fine as well. Stone Edge coming through. I'm going to shield up the Stone Edge, as we will see the opponent coming into their Ninetales now, which is going to be a tough one to beat. I have no idea why I did this. I literally, I wasn't paying attention. This was late in the Go Battle Day, which is already long ago if you most likely saw this video. And it's kind of, I think, screwed up in the game there, because I should have been able to get to my move easier then, to my next Side Strike easier. I have no idea why I went for the, for the Dynamic Punch there. Again, was at the end of Go Battle Day, and I was like after 18 sets or something, you're also not really has concentrated anymore, but I would have been able to definitely have a better shot here if I just went for my Side Strike. Still a good game, my own mistake, happens, like literally happens. So we see an Obama's Note, we see also a Talonflame coming in. Against Talonflame, you will be able to just tank every move. Let's see what they're going to go for. They're going to go for the Flame Charge. I will be able to go for my own Side Strike. If they let this move go through, I will be able to realign no matter what, and they're going to let this move go through, which means I'm going to shield up this next move, and I will be able to farm them down before they can do anything here. Here you see why confusion damage is so nice, and nobody is really prepared for Mewtwo in this meta anyway, as we can go for one Dynamic Punch, we will get this thing super low, and we will be able to now just let our Mewtwo go down. I will be able to go into my Obstagoon now. They have a shield advantage, but we see the Swampert coming in, which doesn't really matter for the shield advantage there, as we have, of course, the Grass Knot here, which will do a big, hefty amount of damage against them as soon as it's going to hit, and we're gonna get there very fast. They're gonna go for the Earthquake. Fine for me, I'm not going to shield here anything. I am going to keep my shield for my Obstagoon, I think, as they can go ahead and go for another charge move here. This will be a Hydro Cannon. I think I still would survive this one if I want to. I'm going to shield this one up now, actually. which they're going to most likely swap out now. They do swap out. I will be able to knock them out. And now we have a half health, I think, Swampert or something like this against a full health Obstagoon. There's no way they will be able to win this game there. So this is going to be a good game. Horrible lead, Deoxys. Deoxys is a horrible lead for me, of course, because of the counter damage adding up more and more. But against my Cresselia, it's actually a pretty decent matchup. For the Cresselia, I will be overfarming a little bit, so I will get to my move a little bit better for the next Pokemon that's coming in, which is going to be their Obstagoon, which allows me now to go for some Moonblast here. We'll be able to get the first one off, gonna get an extra fast move in, and we will see a Night Slash coming in from the opponent, which doesn't boost them up, luckily, but this shows me that I will be able to survive another Night Slash here as well, which allows me to go for my own Moonblast. This Moonblast will be enough to get them into a range where I can just farm them down with my own Obstagoon. I will be able to shield up their move, which is going to be actually an Obstruct, so I'm not going to shield it up for whatever reason. I didn't do this, but it's smart, I guess. We see a Scrafty coming in, which is fine for me. I will be able to go for 2 cross chops, gonna get this thing low, maybe even in confusion range, which is something that might happen here. I have to see. I should let the first move go through, to be fair, and I don't, but it's fine. It's going to be a foul play, then it's a good shield. I tried to catch the move, didn't work out. They're gonna go into the Deoxys. At this point, it looks a little bit tough for me to win this still. I don't think there's a way for me to be fair. I will get the shield though, which is fine. Maybe Mewtwo can still do something here. I will be able to go for some Side Strikes against this opponent's Deoxys. Deoxys is basically just also the same typing, does pretty similar damage in terms of what it can hit, because it has counter as a fighting type coverage, which we have here with Dynamic Punch. They have their own Psycho Boost for the Side Strike instead of the Side Strike, so we have pretty similar damage there. But we will see that we are very close of knocking them out. We can see the Scrafty coming in. We will be able to go for the Side Strike, knocking them out. We can go still for another Side Strike. Is this enough to knock out the opponent's Deoxys? It sadly just barely isn't, and we are not able to hang on there. I think if I had a good IV Mewtwo, I would have been able to, but this is the only Mewtwo I have, because back in the day when this was available, there were no remote raids. I am living in a very small town, and there were nobody interested in this Pokemon because nobody was playing PvP, because PvP wasn't even out then, I think. So yeah, nowadays it's easier to raid, but back in the day it was a little bit tougher, so having currently Armored Mewtwo might be also something like a privilege, because we haven't had this Pokemon out for ages. I hope that we're gonna get this thing though back again, because I think it's a cool Pokemon. Maybe it's a shiny as well, but I don't think they can do this because it's basically a gimmicky Pokemon for trying to promote the movie towards Mewtwo. But back in the day when Niantic did actually cool content, like this was something that they didn't have to do, but it's actually cool content that they did. I wish that stuff like this would come back, but right now it doesn't really seem like it. We will be able to farm on the opponent, which is nice. We see the opponent's Ninetales coming in, and we see a Walrein coming in. Walrein doesn't like to get hit by my Dynamic Punch, and this is the main thing that I want to do here. Going for the Dynamic Punch, going for the big hit on them. We will be able to farm them all the way down now. We could shield up this one as well if I want to, and I'm going to shield up this one. It's going to be an Icicle Spear. It doesn't really matter what I want to shield here. I think the Icicle Spear does around the same damage as the opponent's Weather Ball. I will be able to go for 2 more fast moves, go for 1 Side Strike now. Going to get this thing super low, as they're going to not shield this one up, but I can go for another one, which they're most likely going to shield up here. And I can swap into my Obstagoon. I will be able to go for 2 moves here, as this all will be the cross chop coming in. Then you're going to get to another charge move, which is fine for me, which is a Weather Ball. We survive. We can go for another fast move here as well. Go for the cross chop, and this should knock out the opponent's Alolan Ninetales. Good game to my opponent, as we can go into the final match. We see Obstagoon against Obstagoon. A horrible lead kinda, especially if they have Obstruct, they actually win this matchup. I don't have Obstruct, I have my cross chop ready, and we will see that they're going to be able to go for that charge move now, which I'm going to shield, which is going to be Obstruct. So, this is kind of awkward, but the good thing about this matchup is now I will be able to get a shield advantage at least, but I'm not sure how long it's going to last, as we're going to have to go into our Cresselia now. And Cresselia has to go for 1 charge move before. Cresselia I just went into because it gets to the Grass Knot a little bit faster than the Mewtwo would get to the Dynamic Punch. I will be able to overfarm a little bit, but we also are dropped in terms of our defense. We can go straight into our Armored Mewtwo. We see the Nidoqueen coming in, which is fine for us. As you can see, this is the cool thing about Armored Mewtwo. Confusion damage just adds up like crazy. We see a Pidgeot coming in, and I think because we have so much energy advantage, we should be able to reach 2 moves in time here, hopefully, to knock them low. I will be able to survive one Feather Dance here, so I'm going to let this move go through. I'm going to be able to go for one more charge move here. This will be the Side Strike. It will not knock them out, but one more Confusion does. And now we're in the race with Cresselia against Nidoqueen. They are both at the same health, basically. I think mine is a little bit lower, but they're gonna go for the poison thing anyway. I can go for 2 Grass Knolls. I have a shield advantage, which is the main factor here. And I will be able to go for another Grass Knot now, which basically already knocks them out. And this is going to be it for this video. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe to this channel. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.